Morning, everyone. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And yes, I am outside. It's a little chilly this morning. I'm actually sitting at a bench, if you will, because I have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Before we get into the topics at hand, let's congratulate a follower, subscriber. Kathleen, congratulations on closing your first or next rental property. Your card will go out in the mail. Again, Kathleen, congratulations, and thanks for being one of the 500 deals done this year. Congratulations. A couple of quick things as we get into the daily financial news. Obviously, if you watch the channel, the eviction moratorium is back in force with a twist. I have actually read the entire 19-page, I guess, order or whatnot. So we will get into this in detail in a minute. But a couple of things I want to highlight first. First and foremost, if you watched my videos late afternoon yesterday, I was definitely caught by surprise. As I shared with you and the lumberjack landlord yesterday, I didn't think this would happen. I thought, I thought we had put this behind us. But that said, something that I learned very early, I actually give my father credit for this statement. And it actually could have been my mom, but I remember it being my father. And it was this: in America, you can do anything you want as long as you're willing to suffer the consequences. This conversation was had with me when I was 13 or 14, maybe 15. Basically, I was whining about a bully. And my dad, who is a Marine, basically said, stand up for yourself, go for it. If you get in trouble at school, we got you, no worries, right? Because, of course, no fighting in school. I was perplexed. And, I thought those were very wise words. Why do I bring this up? Again, what I think we see in front of us is Mr. President Biden and his administration decided to do something, and now they are going to suffer the consequences. Before we get into that, a couple of quick things. First and foremost, a follower on this channel shared with me that this is not the first time a sitting president went against the U.S. Supreme Court. Who knew? I had no idea. So there was apparently an event with Andrew Jackson, who happened to be our 7th president. It was basically referenced as the Trial of Tears. Again, not a great history major, never heard of it. Did about 30 minutes of reading, and it was a horrible event in our American history. But basically, Andrew Jackson gave the middle finger to the Supreme Court and basically went with his constituents. So he took his personal opinion, didn't like what the Supreme Court had to say, and out of that really became the fact that the Supreme Court has the authority to rule and it must be enforced. It took time, but yes, this was one of the rulings that actually strengthened the Supreme Court. So first and foremost, Biden is not the first president to go against the Supreme Court. So there will be consequences from this. And these are just my opinions. This is what I see coming. There are consequences for the administration, and then there are consequences for investors and tenants. We will get into those momentarily. But first, let's get into the daily financial news, because while the eviction moratorium is something that we all feel, I do want to hit the rest of the information first, and then we will get into what I see coming as consequences. First and foremost, the ADP jobs report came out light, disappointing. If you don't know, this is a private payroll report that always comes out a day or two ahead of the official numbers. It's an interesting report because it's actually very rarely in sync with the report that will come out Friday. But nonetheless, 330 jobs were created in the month of July, where they were expecting 653. As expected, leisure and hospitality had the greatest numbers at 139,000. But yes, a disappointment. Bonds will likely, go. Bonds would go up, rates would go down if all holds true here. General Motors missed expectations for Q2 by a wide margin on earnings, actually hit on revenue. However, they raised guidance. They basically cited a $1.3 billion expense for warranty recalls. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Lyft is an interesting report, beat top and bottom, and as expected, we are back to 2019 levels. This is definitely becoming a theme. Royal Caribbean, right, cruise operator, missed top and bottom. They did indicate the bookings are up 50%, and they expect 80% of their fleet to be operating by the end of the year. But yes, ouch. Avis budget, get this, folks. You like to be on an earnings call when the CEO says this. Best quarter in the company's history. Yeah, that's going to feel good in the moment, folks, but you are going to have a tough compare next year, but enjoy. Avis, best quarter ever. And just to show you that analysts don't know what they're doing, analysts had expected Avis budget to earn $1.21. $1.21. They earned $5.90, folks. That's nearly a 500% beat in a 90-day window. This is not a year earnings. This is a 90-day window. Crazy stuff. Live Nation is talking about sales were up 800%. Folks, remember what my theme is here. We are stopped buying stuff. We are buying experiences. So my suspicion, housing slowdown. I brought it to you here first. I think we're going to have automobile slowdown. I think a lot of these things are going to catch the powers that be flat-footed. And also inflation is real. Live Nation is highlighting that ticket prices are up 10%. It is real. Lastly, I found the 3 cities with the highest net migration. And again, these are things that you watch for because they are investable. Number 1 was Riverside, California. Number 2, Lakeland, Florida. And then Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Again, these are regions that people are migrating to, likely away from high expensive areas. So that is good. Saw a couple of posts here from folks that are closing on their next properties in the next couple of weeks, 30 days. Make sure you direct message me your address. Don't put it on YouTube. That's silly. You don't want to do that. But direct message me maybe on Instagram or send me an email off my website with your address, and I will happily send you one of these cards as well. So now back to the eviction moratorium. It caught me flat-footed yesterday. I was definitely disappointed. But after there's a couple of things. There are going to be consequences for Biden, and there'll be consequences for tenants and investors. So let's talk about the administration first. These are just my beliefs. I'm actually going to ask Anna Kelly about them later. But basically, the Supreme Court, specifically Brett Kavanaugh, I believe his name is, he is not going to be happy. I suspect a lot of judges aren't going to be happy that Biden chose to ignore a pretty clearly black and white statement. So I suspect judges and the Supreme Court to be extra intense on their rulings. I expect not only this declaration to be declared unconstitutional shortly, probably within weeks. I suspect that the Supreme Court will go the extra mile now and say all eviction moratoriums are unconstitutional. Again, back to Andrew Jackson and what the trial of tears, the result of the trial of tears is if the Supreme Court makes a ruling for the country, it can be enforced. So I live in the state of California. We had already extended our moratorium to the 31st. I believe New Jersey was January 1st. I expect the Supreme Court to say not only is the CDC moratorium unconstitutional, but every single moratorium is unconstitutional and immediately voided, or whatever the right word is, legal speak. Not an attorney. These are just my opinions. In addition to this, I believe the Supreme Court is going to open liability. That is something I think that would have been, below the radar before, but I fully expect the Supreme Court again to be upset and almost malicious in returning, and they are going to open up the CDC and local government to liability and significant penalties for this unconstitutional behavior. Again, it will take time, but it is coming. And then lastly, they risk really impacting the currency, because one of the things that, the reserve currency of the world, we have faith, the rule of law, Right now, the rule of law is not being treated with the due respect it is should. And yeah, we could suffer some other consequences from this. Now to investors, me and you. Again, yesterday as a landlord, I was taken aback by this. Did not expect it. I just didn't expect it. Crazy. I was wrong. But I think what is going to happen here is what is going to happen from here is affordable rentals are going to fall away. I believe what you are going to see in the very short term is older landlords, mom and pop landlords. There are 48 million rental units. There is going to be a larger percentage of them that are fed up. Right? If you are an investor, a landlord, 8, 10, 12 units, you've owned them for decades, and you are being hurt by your tenants, you are going to sell. Now, they are going to have to take a discount if they are going to sell occupied units. So the people that watch this channel, you are probably looking to grow your portfolio. I fundamentally believe this eviction moratorium will eventually end. It has to. And if you are in a position and you have the appropriate reserves, you can probably pick up some pretty good rental units that are occupied at a discount. Make sure you get a discount. Make sure you get a discount. In addition to that, landlords, it's time to tighten your criteria. I would strongly suggest you evaluate your yes answer for tenants, increase the credit score, the income ratio, whatever you want it to be. I believe the tenant screening process is about to tighten. And I believe rents are going to go up, as are deposit requirements. This is going to have the opposite impact on the rental community going forward that the administration wanted. The administration is essentially going to remove affordable housing, and the ones that are left are going to be a lot more expensive. As landlords, do me a favor and make sure you get 30-year money. You may have a short window around this. And if you need non-qualified mortgage in QM, remember Stephen Dow on Fridays. He has that 30-year investment loan or non-QM loan where you can do interest-only payments for a couple of years. Might be a way to manage your payments there. So again, this is going to happen. And lastly, the powers that be, Biden, Nancy, so on and so forth, you just lost the midterm elections. Your power to rule by holding your breath, you've got what, a year left? You were likely going to lose the midterm election anyways. Now it is going to be a landslide. Everyone with a D next to their name on their ballots is going to be branded a extremist or whatever the right word is. And we are going to see a landslide coming out of the midterm elections. You made your bed, and as my father said, you can do anything you want as long as you are willing to suffer the consequences. And your rule, your 2-year rule of owning the presidency, the House, and the Senate is going to be up because the American people aren't going to forget this instant. So it is going to be interesting. So again, I'm excited as somebody who's looking to grow their portfolio. I'm going to be looking to buy investment properties at a discount. I do believe there are some landlords that now are going to have enough. So it will be interesting to see what's going on. So let me round this out. Oh, the last thing. Oh, let's talk about this document. I read all 19 pages, and let's just say a lot of it is based on twisted statistics and a biased opinion. Also, we are talking about cases, not hospitalizations or deaths. I had always thought we were worried about our hospitals and death. Now, apparently, we are worried about cases, which is crazy. And then a lot of you have asked, what are the penalties? What are the penalties for violating this? Let's just say they are extreme. Here on page 17 of the order, and I posted the link yesterday in yesterday's video. Right here, I highlighted it because they're pretty steep. Let's see. I don't know, bunch of legal jargon. It basically says a person violating this order may be subject to fine of no more than $100,000 and 1 year in jail, or both if death is not occurred. If death is occurred, it could be up to $250,000 and 1 year in jail. So again, there are some pretty substantial penalties. So don't put yourself at risk. Let the powers that be fight this. And again, I believe the Supreme Court, as I said earlier, is going to be upset, and they are going to flex their muscle. And specifically, was it Brent Kavanaugh? He is going to be, he's not going to be happy. I would have loved to be in a fly on the wall when Brent heard this was going down. So at the end of the day, folks, it's not all bad news. If you're looking to grow your portfolio, you're going to have a small window of time to probably get a discount. Go look for properties that are occupied. I have already seen, just in 24 hours, it appears one landlord in my market has started listing small multifamilies. My guess is they are fed up. Maybe we can go create a deal. We can buy the entire portfolio. Don't know. So again, let's make lemonade out of lemons. Yesterday was not a good day, but we're going to be in this business for decades. Don't let this little window of time hurt you. Make sure you have reserves, get 30-year money, because affordable housing is going to go down in supply. Rents are going to go up. Tighten up your yes answer for tenants. You'll be okay. All right, folks, again, what is it? August 4th, Wednesday, August 4th. Hopefully we'll be talking with Anna Kelly here in about 15 minutes. You have a wonderful day, and it's a little overcast here. It's a little park outside my house. All right, take care of yourself. Bye.